Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Mediocre Human Podcast. Today, I have a brand new, super original idea for you guys. And that is another episode of Am I the Asshole? Because I'm running out of ideas. I mean, I love being on Reddit. It's totally not a toxic environment, and I love being in toxic environments. Anyway, let's get right into it. First one. Am I the asshole for telling my stepfather I might throw my graduation party in his face forever? When I graduated, my family threw a big graduation party for me. I said I wanted my entire family to be there. If anyone wanted separate celebrations, we could just not celebrate because it was my big day. Everyone agreed and promised to be nice to each other. At the party, things were going really well at first. Everyone was having fun. Then my stepfather started giving my stepmother a bunch of unsolicited advice about her daughter and her daughter's autism. My stepsister was also right there and could hear what he was saying. My dad told my stepfather to walk away, but he kept insisting he knew what he's talking about because he's a teacher. It eventually devolved into a screaming match where my stepmother called him a worthless piece of shit, and he called her a psychotic cunt. You can figure that out yourself. The party was ruined. I got my grandparents to kick my stepfather out, but the mood was ruined, and my dad's side of the family quickly found excuses to leave, so I pulled the plug on the party. Each time my stepfather has tried to talk to me since then, I've said, "What's up, guy who ruined my graduation party?" And this really upsets him. He said it's not fair to blame him because my stepmother acted just as poorly. I said it is fair, and I absolutely blame him. He asked how long I would blame him for it and keep throwing the party in his face. I said maybe forever. He said I was too old to be acting like such a little a-hole. My mom asked me to be the bigger person and let sleeping dogs lie, but I'm not ready to do that. These dogs are very much awake and pissed off. Am I the asshole for that? I'm gonna say no. Your anger's justified, and that party was supposed to be about you, to celebrate you. You made the effort to address this with everyone ahead of time, but they still went and did exactly what you asked them not to do. Yeah, no, that's weird. I would hope something like this doesn't happen at, like, your wedding or big events, like, even bigger events like that, because that's just, yeah, no. Okay, this one is good. Am I the asshole for refusing to clean my room after my parents dumped my brother's trash in it? I have a decent room. I keep the trash out, but I'm not super organized. My brother is almost 20 years old and still lives at home. I am 15. My parents are nice and there's no golden child thing going on. So last week, one of the outlets in my brother's room sparked and shut down the power to his entire room. So on Friday, the electrical guy came to fix his bedroom, and my brother had a bunch of boxes and trash in his room. So my mom and my brother made the absolute genius decision to dump all of the trash into my room. Not stack it or any organized way, literally tossed it everywhere into my room. When I came home, I was pissed because there was 3 boxes, 2 trash bags spilled over the floor, and I was really upset. I decided that I was just going to ignore all the trash in my room. Yesterday, my mom came into my room and told me to clean my disgusting room, and I told her that she needs to clean my room because she is the one who made the mess in the first place. She told me that it's my responsibility to clean my own room because she gives me housing and food. I told her that I didn't ask to be born. Then she threatened to take away my computer, and I told her that she can pay me $1,000 for it because I paid for the whole thing. She told me I was being entitled. Now she's mad and my room is still not clean. Am I being the entitled asshole? Why isn't your brother cleaning up the mess? Good question. If it's all trash, why did they put it into your room rather than just throwing it away? Your room is not a trash can. If I were you, I would put it all back into my brother's room because that's where it came from. It's his trash. He can take care of it. And her threatening to take stuff away that you put your hard-earned money toward is not cool at all. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know. That's weird. Your mom is not very nice. Okay. Am I the asshole for ignoring my fiance after he had caused a scene for something that I had accidentally told him? I am a 25-year-old female, and my fiance, 30-year-old male, had caused a scene over something I had told him in utter confidence that he would keep it a secret. Background: when I was a sophomore in high school, 16, I was dating Nate, 18 male, a senior. We were in a serious relationship and genuinely loved each other. A year into our relationship, we had planned for our parents to meet. They were both single parents and they had hit it off quite well. They had eventually started dating and that had took a toll onto mine and Nate's relationship. We both thought it was weird and ruined the whole dynamic, so we broke it off. Our parents eventually got married and we were happy for them. So to not ruin their relationship, me and Nate had agreed to keep their relations a secret. Putting that all behind us, me and Nate had developed a good friendship. So fast forward to now, I am now 25 and I have met my fiance, James. My mom and stepdad really love James like their own, but James, for no reason, dislikes Nate. This dislike was before I had told him about the relationship. One night, me and James had got a bit drunk, not too much that I couldn't remember, but just kind of tipsy, and I had let it slip that me and Nate were once involved with each other. James very quickly sobered up and walked away. The next morning, I had reassured him that it was all behind us, and we only see ourselves as friends. That day, there was a big family dinner that we all go to at least once a week. The whole night, James was making digs at Nate and constantly boasting about himself to put Nate down. After dinner, we were all sat around talking and drinking, and all of a sudden, James had said to Nate, "Why aren't you in a relationship? Is it because you're still in love with my wife?" Everyone went quiet, Nate and James included. No one said anything for a good 2 minutes, and Nate looked alarmed. James had knew he messed up, so he excused us to leave. We drove home and haven't spoke to him since. I am now writing this from the guest room, and I feel as now the whole friendship between me and Nate is going to be on rocky terms. So am I the asshole? Why are you with someone who's a literal walking, talking, breathing red flag? That's my question, not the asshole. It's James not being a person that you can confide in that bothers me. That's just, no, that's weird. Am I the asshole for losing my passport to avoid babysitting on my vacation? Losing is in quotations, meaning she didn't lose it. She, purposefully misplaced it. I, female 17, still live at home. My sister, 28 years old, is married and has 2 kids, aged 5 and 3. Whenever she comes over to visit my parents, she sticks me with the kids every single time. This wouldn't be a problem, except she doesn't visit for an evening. She will come for a whole week. And for that week, I am an unpaid nanny. Don't get me wrong, I love my nieces, but it is not my job to take care of them. If we go out to a restaurant, I have to entertain them because my mom needs to talk to my sister and brother-in-law. My parents decided that since this was my last summer before I became an adult, we would be going to Disneyland to celebrate my graduation. I asked who was going, and they said it was just the 3 of us. But then we got to the airport, and my sister and her family were there. Strangely enough, they were also going to Disneyland. I went into my backpack and grabbed my passport. I put it in my sock. When we got to the international security, I couldn't find it. We looked everywhere. I had to Uber home and I missed my flight. Oh well, I get to stay home by myself for a week of peace and quiet. My parents were very, very mad at me for losing my passport. The money they spent on my flight and entrance was wasted. Darn. My mom and sister have both been posting about how hard it is to be at Disneyland with 2 little ones. They both posted that I ruined the vacation by being so thoughtless. My dad says he knows why I did and he understands, but he says I should have let him know so he didn't waste money. He said he would have gone along with my ruse. I feel bad about wasting money, but I have been to Disneyland before, and I will go again later by myself or with friends. Yeah, not the asshole. If you're so thoughtless, according to them, Why would they trust a thoughtless person to watch their kids? Start saying no. Start having plans. If parents can't take care of the kids they have, then don't have them. Parents need to realize their siblings are not free nannies. I have friends who have had this issue where their older siblings will just push the kids onto them without any care, without asking, just be like, here, and then leave. Like it's not their job to take care of their own child. Not the asshole. I think you were very smart for this, actually. Your dad, he knew what your mom and sister were doing. So if he knew, why would he have wasted the money in the first place? Am I the asshole for telling my family they should experience cancer, then they can criticize me if they want? I am a 16-year-old female, and I have leukemia. I was diagnosed 2 months ago. It has been very, very difficult. Chemo is a complete monster, but I'm trying to stay strong. Today is my grandma's 70th birthday. My extended family wanted to do a big party. Since I'm sick, they made it safe. It was outside, everyone wore masks, and there was lots of hand sanitizer and Clorox wipes. Since being sick, I, most days, dress very comfy in lounge shorts and a t-shirt. A few family members, aunts and uncles, and a few older cousins kept asking why I decided to dress like that and that I should put more effort into my appearance. Nobody was super dressed up, but I was the most underdressed. My parents said something, but didn't want to get mad because they didn't want to ruin the day for my grandma, which I understand. Chemo messed up my taste buds and makes me nauseous. The main things I can eat that don't make me completely sick are different types of potatoes, grilled chicken, and popsicles or slushies. Well, all they had that I could eat and not vomit were popsicles, so I had a few. Those same family members kept criticizing me, saying I need to be healthier and eat actual food. I explained, and so did my parents, that the chemo has made me not able to eat a lot of foods, and popsicles are one of the safe things I can eat. I wanted to yell at them, but my parents reminded me that we shouldn't ruin the day for Grandma. Well, I held my tongue until I complained about being exhausted and wanting to go home soon to my mom. And one of my aunts said, "What do you do that makes you so tired? Every time I talk to your dad, you're laying around or watching TV." I finally got too upset, so I said, "Well, my body is constantly trying to fight off cancer cells while making the rest of me sick and weak. So if you guys want to keep criticizing me, then you guys can experience cancer and chemo, and then if you want to keep criticizing me, go right ahead." I then apologized to my grandma and walked away. As I heard my aunts and uncles grilling my parents for what I said. My parents aren't upset, but I feel like I ruined the party by saying this. So am I the asshole? Your family is acting like you don't have cancer. Like, do they not know or something? Not the asshole. You and your parents repeatedly told them to stop and leave you alone. They didn't listen, and they kept pushing. They ruined the party, not you. Talk about kicking someone while they're down. Jesus. That's just insensitive, rude. And if it were me, it would make me feel like they really don't care about me at all. Whether it's my grandma's birthday or not, that's just ridiculous. I'm so sorry. Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for calling my sister a cunt for making me babysit her kids all the time? I, male 17 years old, get forced into babysitting for my older sister all the time so she can go shopping and do other things, and it really makes me mad. Ooh, kind of a repeat story here. I barely have any free time with college work and revising, and then I have the addition of babysitting, which is just too much. Everything came to a head the other week when, the day before my twin niece's birthday, the rest of my family decided that now was the perfect time to get gifts and cards. After repeatedly saying I didn't want to babysit and I had homework to do, they left her 3 kids with me and drove off. After 5 minutes, one of my nieces and my nephew was crying because they left. I rang my sister and screamed profanities at her over the phone repeatedly, calling her a cunt, and then I hung up on her. About 30 minutes later, my other sister showed up to babysit the kids instead, and said she was sent by my other sister. Now, for the past couple of weeks, other family members have been getting on to me for calling my sister a cunt, as my family hates that word. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Those kids are not your problem. Again, if they are not your kids, they are not your problem. I understand, like, her relying on you if you volunteer, but if you tell her, like, you're tired of it and she still does it, that's wild. Yeah, these stories are ridiculous. Oh my word. Whoa, there's a lot of really long ones in here. Am I the asshole for not wanting to invite one of my friends to hang out because of their extreme body odor? So we have a small group of friends I met in high school, and every so often we'll go hang out in person at a bar or a restaurant. There are 6 of us total, and I seriously love every single one of them to death. But one of my friends in particular refuses to shower. We'll call him Mike. Mike is a great person and I love hanging out with him. But because he refuses to shower, and I don't really know how to put this lightly, but he smells like shit. Actual shit and piss. He told us he has a thing for extreme body odor, and so he hasn't taken a shower. This is their words, not mine. In over 3 years. Whole what? Mike has not showered in over 3. Oh God, I hope this is a joke. I hope this is a joke. And even though I love to hang out with him, it is so disgusting to be around him. Most of our friends agree that it is really gross, and I eventually decided that he has to either shower or I'm just not taking part. He thinks I'm being a mean person to let something as small as his smell get in the way of our friendship, but I am standing my ground on it. Am I the asshole? No. Just be blunt. There's no need to beat around the bush. Tell him his odor makes you want to vomit. And no, he cannot come out with you. Really, with that sort of smell, I'm surprised he's not asked to leave establishments. He's allowed his things. If you don't understand what I mean by things, it's a sexual thing. He likes stinky. So he's allowed that, but the rest of you aren't beholden to be subjected to his filth. I'm surprised he's not sick from the lack of cleaning himself, honestly. That's gross. Okay, next one. Am I the asshole for not disciplining my son who made a morbid joke? Yesterday I had my girlfriend at my place for watching a movie with me and my 7-year-old boy. They've met 3 or 4 times now and he's slowly warming up to her. Also starting to make jokes and he's being silly around her, which is a good sign. He's on the spectrum, so a little bit weird for outsiders sometimes. During the movie, I got some sweets for him and he was sharing with us. However, when it came to giving her some, he jokingly said, no, she has to starve, and didn't give her anything at first. Later on, he gave her some, though. He was in a silly mood, and I'm sure he didn't mean it. Actually, it didn't even register to me in the moment. Girlfriend left, and today I got a very long and upset text message from her that it's unacceptable that he says something like that, and that she expects me to discipline him when he says something like that. I think it's okay for her to tell me it hurt her, and I also told Kid that starving is nothing to joke about. But I'm also a bit shocked by her taking this so dead serious. I told her I'd talk to him about it, but she's still very upset. Am I the asshole here for not taking this serious enough? No. You might tell him that's not a nice thing to say, but your girlfriend is seriously overreacting. Your child teases her, displaying affection in his own way, and she creates a bunch of drama out of it. No. He's 7 years old. He's gonna say weird things. I wouldn't be surprised if any 7-year-old said that. I feel like that's a normal thing for a kid to say. I don't know. I'm gonna say not the asshole at all. She's offended. That's her problem. I can see how that can come off as kind of insensitive, but again, he's 7, so I'm gonna say not the asshole. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Sorry I missed last week. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you again soon. I hope you've had a great past week. I hope you have a great upcoming week. I'm sure it'll be wonderful. Love you so much. And if you haven't already, if you want to hit the little star, give it a little 5-star rating, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys. Have a good week, day, morning, night, whatever. I'll see you next time. Bye.